operators, the different operators, that is arithmetic, relational, logical, assignment, increment, decrement, then bitwise, these all the operators we are completed. Only the last one is remaining, that is a special operator that we will discuss today. So move to that special operators, and it consists of two different operators. First is a size of and second is a comma operators. So let's first understand the size of operator. The size of operator is used to find the number of bytes occupied by the variables in a memory, and for that first you have to remember the data types theory, that integer occupies 2 byte, float occupies 4 byte, like that. So how this operator works, for that we have to use the syntax like size of, then inside brackets you can pass variable or a data types. Here in our example we take one variable, that is integer a. Now why it is integer? Because the size of operator gives only the integer value. Why? Because 2, 4, 8, it not given any float value. That's why taking one simple variable integer a. And a equals what? Our operator, that is size of, and inside bracket we pass the data type like integer. So what is the output of this program? Size of integer means integer occupies 2 bytes, that's why the a has a value 2. But suppose if you change, instead of integer data type is float, then answer is change. Clear? So the output of this program is what? A equals, or we can say that size of integer equals 2. But if you want float data type, then a becomes 4 and our output is change, like size of float is 4. So this type of data types you can check. But instead of data type, if you want to check for a variables, then what you can do? Simply add one variables, like integer a is there, so add another, that is b, and simply put size of in bracket b. So what happened? The b is nothing but same integer kind of data, so it gives the same answer, a equals 2. Clear? So you can use variable or a data type in a size of operators. Now move to the second, that is a comma operators. This operator is used just to link the related expressions together. How it is possible? Understand with one simple example. Simply here I am making the coding for addition of two numbers. Then what happened? In a declaration part, if you remember, we are assigned the value of input variables like a equals 10, b equals 20, something. But this type of declaration we can change. In a executable part also you can add that initialization portion using these comma operators. How? So simply take the example, here p is nothing but our output variables, and p equals, in a bracket we are taking x equal 10, y equals 5 and x plus y. So here the initialization assign the value is not in a declaration part, but it is with the expressions. So this type of expression you can combine using comma operators. So what is the output of it? X plus y means x is 10 and y is 5. So answer is 15, that is stored in a variable p, and simply print the answer, addition equals 15. So this is the use of comma operators. Here our operator theory is completed. I hope you guys understand this very well, and this is a very most important topic. So please learn it very well. According to the theory title, type is nothing but our data types, integer, float and alls. Now if you want to convert from one data type to another data type, then we have to use this theory, that is type conversion, and it is mainly categorized in a two different part. First is a implicit conversion and second is a explicit conversion. Let's understand in a details. First, implicit conversion. Implicit conversion converts lower data type into higher data type by the compiler. So here user have to perform any operations? No, it is automatically done by the compilers. That's why it is also known as a automatic type conversion. And what is the meaning of lower data type and higher data types? If you remember the size of each and every data types, 1 byte is there, 2 byte, 4 byte, 8 byte. So short integer has a 1 byte, then integer has a 2, float has a 4. So lower data type, that is short integer, is lower compared to integer because it is requires 2 byte. Same way integer is lower than a float because it occupies 2 byte and float occupies 4. So likewise that we have one sequence to perform any implicit conversion, and that is this. First is a short integer, then integer, after that unsigned integer, then long integer, after that unsigned long integer, and then float, double and long double. So likewise that the compiler converts from a lower data type to higher data types. Understand with one simple example of division operations. For that, first we are declaring two variables, integer a equals 9 and b equals 2. These two values are nothing but our input, and we want to find the division of it. So obviously the answer is in a float value. For that we are declaring second variable, that is float c. C is nothing but our output, and for that we are writing the formula C equals A divided by B. That is very simple. But what is the problem in this case? When you are applying implicit conversion, A is integer and B is also integer, so the final answer is in a integer form, and that is converted into float because our output is in a float. So 9 divided by 2, the answer is 4 because it is in a integer part, not in a float part. And then you convert it in a float, then what happened? It's simply putting after point the 0 0 0. So our output is what here? The division equals 4.6 times 0. But it is a correct output? No, obviously. So to overcome this type of problem in a divisions, we have a second method, that is a explicit conversions. Here our explicit conversion is not an automatic conversion, but it is forcefully done by the user to convert from one data type to another data type. And how it is possible? With the syntax data type in a bracket, and then you can write expression or a variables. Also it is known as a typecasting. So whenever you have a question in your exam, explain typecasting, then you have to write just about a explicit conversion. But if you have a question like explain type conversion, then you have to explain both the method, implicit and explicit. Now understand this explicit conversion in our example. Same example here for a division of two number, and A is same 9 and B is same 2, and answer obviously we are getting in a float. So the variable float is C. Same formula I am applying. C equals A divided by B is there? No. Now we have to follow the explicit conversion, and the syntax is like this. In a round bracket we have to write the data type in which you want to convert. So simply I want to convert variable A into the float. So we are putting in a bracket float before variable A and then divide by B. So now it becomes the explicit conversion. And what is meaning of it? It is forcefully done. So A is now converting into float, and float divided by integer. Obviously the answer is in a float, that is 4.5. And that value will be assigned to the variable C because C is also float type. So in this case our output is now the division equals 4.500 and 3 times again 0. Clear? So this is the correct output. So whenever you have a problem finding in a division operation, you can choose this theory to overcome this problem. Let's discuss about first the operator precedence. Precedence, the synonyms is priority, and for what we have to apply priority? for the operators that we have already discussed in our previous lectures. So there are number of operators available, and when your expression contains so many operators, then you have to apply this concept of operator precedence. So first you have to check the priority of each and every operators, and the operator having higher priority can be evaluated first. So how it is possible? Let's understand first the priority of all the operators. So very first priority is for a round bracket. Then second operator is plus plus and minus minus, means increment and decrement operator you have to solve second positions. Then third priority is for a multiplication, division and modulo. These all are in a same category in a third positions. And now fourth one is nothing but our simple addition and subtractions. So for solving any expression you have to remember this. Now take one simple example for understanding this theory very well. So here I am assuming different variables: a equals 4, b equals 5, c equals 3, d equals 2 and again e equals 2. And our expression is 5 plus a into b divided by c plus d into e. So how we can solve these expressions? First you have to check the precedence, that is priority, and obviously the first priority is for a round bracket. So you have to solve first c plus d, and value of c is 3 and d is 2. So 3 plus 2, the answer is 5. So our first step is completed. Now move to the second priority, and here no use of any plus plus and minus minus. So directly move to the next one, that is multiplication, division and modulo. Here I am using that operators, yes. So there are three operators: multiplication, then division and then again multiplications. So first we have to solve this multiplication first. A into b, a is 4, b is 5. So 4 into 5 we get the answer 20. After 20, the next operator is division, because both have a same priority. So we solve division operation. So 20 divided by 5 we get 4. Then after again the multiplication is there on a third priority. So solve it first, and that is 4 into 2. It becomes 8. Now only the one operator is remaining, that is plus, that has a fourth priority. So solve it. 5 plus 8, that is 13. So our final answer is 13. In this way we can solve any expression using this operator precedence theory. Now suppose same operators are there in our equations, like a into b divided by c. Then what happened? Multiplication and division both have a same precedence. Then which one we are solve first, division or multiplications? That depends on another concept, that is associativity. So associativity is having two values, left to right or a right to left. For different operator it is change. So here I am taking the simple example for additions. So addition have a associativity left to right. So in this case, suppose I have 2 plus operations, a plus b plus c, or we can say that 2 plus 3 plus 4. Then which one is executed first? Because of both have a same precedence, we have to check associativity, and that is left to right. So first we have to solve 2 plus 3, and then that answer will be again plus with the force. Clear? Same another example for a assignment operator. So assignment operator have now different associativity. It is not left to right, but it is a right to left. So same example, a equals b equals c, or we can say that x equals y equals z. Then what happened? How it is evaluated? First we have to start from a right hand side. So first y equals to z is assigned, and then that value will be assigned to x. Clear? So this all about the operator precedence and associativity. I hope you guys understand this concept very well. In next video session we learn about the theory, that is execution of C program, or we can say that the life cycle of C, and some more practicals about this chapter. Thank you so much. If you like this video, then thumbs up. If you think this video will help some of your friends, then do share this video with them. Also, you can subscribe my channel, so when I upload new video, you get a notifications. If you have any doubt, please contact. Thank you.